All right, guys. Some of you have been asking how to eat better at home, especially in a situation where you're trying to gain some weight. So here's what I've got. I'm going to share with you different ways to make some different things, especially raw. Everybody's probably pinching pennies a little bit at home right now, which is smart. So oatmeal canister, $3.50 at the store, assuming you can find it. I've got a variety of things here you can mix into it. My kids like a spoonful of strawberry preserves in theirs. We've got cinnamon. All right, this is a mixture in a container of cinnamon and sugar that you can put in it. So I'm a fan of a banana to start it off. I've got a little bit of water in my bowl. Drop the banana in here. I'm going to mash it up into the water. It gives me my fruits for the day. I'm going to add my oatmeal. I'm going to add just enough oatmeal. It's about a cup. Dry oatmeal is what you're looking for. Then we're in the microwave. We've got a nice banana-y, oatmeal-y mix here. I'm going to add some different things that I like to add. Some chai seed. You can have whatever you want at this point. It's really up to you what you like in your oatmeal. Add a little flax to get some extra fiber in it. Now I'm going to go the cinnamon route. Now personally, I don't add a bunch of sugar to mine. I use my banana as my sweetener. But this is just a couple examples of how you can make oatmeal. This is good calories for you to get in the morning. This one container has 30 servings in it. You guys that are trying to add weight, have a cup every day. If you're trying to drop weight, do a half a cup of dry oatmeal. If you're trying to drop weight, it's still really good for you. It's good calories. It's good carbs, complex carbs. And here you go. There's my morning oatmeal. All right. Oatmeal is something you can have every day. If you're trying to add weight, you can have this twice a day. It's a great thing to pack on good pounds. All right. Okay, guys, so in this session, I'm going to show you how to work with sweet potatoes, or as I like to refer to them, super potato, high in fiber, tons of vitamins, fill you up, good stuff. What we're going to do is last time we made them into sweet potato fries. By the way, you can get access to these. There's tons of these at the grocery store. The bags of potatoes are gone, but the sweet potatoes and yams are everywhere. Tonight, I'm going to make them into like, not fries, but I'm going to dice them up. All right. With the sweet potato, first thing we're going to do is we're going to peel the potatoes. So you're going to notice here, I've got a potato peeler, and I'm just peeling them down. Do this with all of them, and then we'll be back. Okay, guys, got all the potatoes peeled. Now I'm cutting them up into little cubes, wide cubes. Sweet potatoes are a denser potato, which is good for nutrition for you, but it takes them a little longer to cook. Now I've already turned the oven on up to 410. I like to cook these a little bit hotter just because it's more dense, and also I prefer a crispier potato. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this sweet potato into 3 different pieces, and then those 3 pieces I'm going to cut down into strips. And then within those strips, I'm going to cut into cubes. I do that so my pieces aren't real big. If you're not one that uses a knife at the house, have a parent help you. And then next step after I get these done, we'll show you how we're going to season. All right, guys, so now we're back. Welcome back to Coach's Kitchen. All right, so we're going to dive into the sweet potatoes. Here's how I like to season these. I'm going to take them and I'm going to stick all these cubes into a plastic bag. I love using plastic bags to season stuff because I can shake it up. Those of you that have ever had shake and bake, little Ricky Bobby style cooking here. So we'll
shake and bake.
Shake and bake. Everybody's got jokes. Those are good jokes. We've got an audience in my audience today. You've got a couple dogs who are always hanging out in the kitchen when we're cooking. They had haircuts. We got them ready for the rain coming, and then they're always hanging around food. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add oil to the bag. Now we use olive oil a lot. Also, we use avocado oil. It's got really good fats in it. It has a higher smoke point. What does that mean? It means you can cook it at higher temperatures and it doesn't catch fire. And it's really good for you. We like the flavor of it. So I'm going to add, and I just eyeballed this. I don't know how much to tell you. Just enough to coat all the potatoes. And then I'm going to seal the bag with air in it. And I'm going to shake it up. I want to try to get every potato in here coated. Now, real quick, something I want to address is a lot of guys tell me all the time, well, I don't eat sweet potatoes. Well, you haven't had them the right way. This is going to taste completely different than just baking a sweet potato and eating it with a spoon. So I've got it all coated nicely. Next thing I'm going to do is I've got cinnamon. I'm going to add a ton of cinnamon in here as well. A ton of cinnamon. We like cinnamon. And then right here I've got brown sugar. And I'm going to add brown sugar in here. Yes, guys, I cook with sugar and sweeteners as well. Caramelizes everything. Really adds a nice flavor to it. I'm going to seal this up. And I'm going to shake it around again. Now you're going to notice I've got a, move this around a little bit. I've got a baking pan. I'm going to bake these in the oven, by the way. I'm not going to discuss that. Less cleanup, I use parchment paper. I'm going to take these out of here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to dump these. Kate, if you want to zoom in and kind of show what these look like, how well they're coated. Kate's behind the camera, by the way. And I'm going to take these and just spread them out over the pan. And they already smell good. They smell very cinnamony and sugary. Notice how they're not crazy coated, but they are coated. Last thing I'm going to do, big fan of sea salts. We are big fans of pink Himalayan salt. It's not any more expensive. It's not a fancy salt. It's just easy to get access to. You can get it at Walmart, anywhere else. There's plenty of it everywhere. Somebody told me there wasn't salt at Save-A-Lot the other day, but they had this in there. It's the same thing. It's actually a little bit better quality. So now these are ready. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to set them in the oven. How do I know when they're done? Well, when they're sizzling, they're crispy. You can cook them as crispy as you want them. Typically, it's about 20 minutes. I may take them a little longer than 20 minutes, just depending. The oven's already on 350, so I'm going to pop these bad boys in right now. All right, the sweet potatoes just came out. They smell great, crispy, finished, about 25 minutes. Okay, guys, another thing is you got to get your protein while you're, protein and carb per meal is what we're looking for. Granted, again, I know that everybody's going to be on a kind of a tighter budget at home, a little more restrictions. Chicken is still pretty easy to get your hands on right now, and it'll be readily available. Something I like to do is I like to buy fresh chicken. And what I like to do with these chicken breasts is cut them directly in half and just make two out of them. Reason being is it lasts longer. I believe that, per my research, that you can only consume so much protein per serving. What is that number? It's a little different for everybody. A whole chicken breast is a little much for me. If you're somebody trying to put on a lot of weight and mom's good with it, then I would go ahead and do that. I've added oil, avocado oil, already to this pan. And here's something I like to do before I season my chicken. I like to get the chicken coated with the olive or avocado oil, depending on which one I'm using. Today I'm using avocado oil. And I like to get it kind of nice and coated in the pan. I do as little touching of the chicken as possible. Chicken can come with some bacteria and some different things before you cook it. So anytime you're cooking on a surface with chicken, you really need to make sure you clean with soap and water the area when you're done. I'm going to get all of this oil on the chicken. Also keeps it from sticking to the pan that I've already got it in the pan, because I'm going to bake this as well. Once I have this baked, I'm going to spread it out real good. I'm going to use a seasoning. Now you can season your chicken however you want. There's really no rhyme or reason to how you do it. I use a little bit of everything. Tonight I'm going to use something that's called Twisted Q, Crazy Chicken Lemon Garlic. This is a hit. We use this for rotisserie chicken sometimes. which maybe I'll do one of those rotisserie chickens. Get it open. All right, so now I'm just going to take this and just sprinkle it. Season the chicken. And now I've got those sweet potatoes in the oven still. So I'm going to throw this chicken in too. Now it doesn't take quite as long typically as the sweet potatoes will, just because like I said, I like my sweet potatoes crispier. We like them crunchy, so we cook them a little bit longer. So once I season this side of the chicken, I'm going to flip it over. I'm a big fan of both sides being seasoned. Notice how this is not taking me a ton of time. This is not a lot of work, and this is not expensive. These pre-seasoned packs you can find in the seasoning aisle and stuff, they're not expensive. They're easy to find. It's great flavor. We're big flavor people, so we want to taste our food. So we season everything all the time. All right, there we go. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to add it to the oven as well. And fog my glasses up. And voila, we'll have dinner in no time. Here's our chicken. Just came out. It was in there for about 20 minutes at 410. I always cut it. You can see I cut it in the middle just to check and make sure it's completely done. Tender, juicy, ready to go. So a question I've been asked by several of you is good carbs, things that they can eat to pack on good weight. Here's some things that we frequently use at our house that are good carbs that you can do a lot with that are not expensive to buy, because I know cost is something on everybody's mind right now. First thing is, we are big pancake eaters. I'm a big fan of the Kodak cakes because they come with extra protein. And actually, when we make them, we add additional protein powder to these, and you use an egg or two, and you've really upped the protein. This isn't in the store last time I checked, but this is normal pancake mix. Good carbs. It's got a little bit of protein. We'll add milk to it, add eggs to it, and protein powder. So that's something you can make on. We make a ton of them in the morning. They're inexpensive to buy. You can eat on them all day. Quick and easy. A couple of other complex carbs, rice. And what we do is when I make rice, I use chicken broth with it rather than, he likes the pancakes and the rice too. So I use chicken broth to flavor the rice. So now we use an Instapot. I don't know what you guys are using at home to cook with. This is a good example. I made rice last night. It's got a little bit of a yellowness to it. I use garlic, olive oil, and the low sodium chicken broth or beef broth with it. So rice is something our kids really enjoy, is rice at breakfast with eggs over easy. And so we eat rice with every meal, find ways to do that. This is quinoa. Quinoa is something that is really easy to make, really inexpensive. Looks like a seed. It's a seed that takes on water, opens up, really high in carbs, high in protein as well, very good for you. And then this is couscous. Couscous is the same way. You cook it very much like a rice, high in carbohydrates, high in protein for a complex carb. The nice thing about these three things is you can make them in large portions like we do here, and you can add any sort of protein or veggie to it. So something that would be common is we'll take the rice, I'll make a big batch of it plain like this. We'll then cook chicken separate, cook carrots and broccoli separate, chop it up, stick it in the rice, and you have a stir fry. So you can do that with any of these and eat on them for 4 or 5 days. So these are just several examples, guys, of things you can eat that you can season and that'll add good carbs to you to help put on good weight. One of the common things with teenagers is you guys walk, the same way in my house, you walk into the kitchen, you open up the fridge, it looks like you have to cook something, so you turn around, you go to the box of cereal. Well, what really helps is when you make things like the rice, and then you make the chicken. Cereal. Yeah, you grab the stuff that's easy to grab. What helps is if you make these things in large portions and then put them into separate containers, like whether it be Tupperware looks like it's been through World War III because we use it all the time. We have these little dish containers, So we'll make a bunch of chicken, a bunch of rice, a bunch of veggies, and fill up all of these. So all you have to do is come in and grab one of these and throw it in the microwave to have good food as a snack and not eat Doritos all day. So it's not hard to do. You just have to take the time to do these things. So summary of all the videos. Showed you how to do sweet potatoes, showed you how to do chicken. I've showed you all these different carbs that are good for you that you can add proteins to as well. So if you have any questions individually, reach out to me. I'm more than happy.
Those last for a very long time.
They last a long time. These can sit in the fridge all week. Pancakes last 2 or 3 days.
But these containers of food, though, last for a very long time.
Yes, these last forever. They don't go bad sitting around. And these are things you can get right now. All this stuff is readily available at the store. All right.